So you said you a monotheism. You believe in one God. So you don't believe in Jesus? You an atheist. Oh, that's interesting.
Growing up, you never went to church.
You say you don't believe in Jesus Christ. Why is that?
Like this half deity.
Half deity, half human. So you're confused.
Yeah.
So you're confused because you believe Mary was born, Jesus was born immaculately, was just a mother. I don't know. You as atheists, I know you don't believe in the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible? So now, the first thing we must do is we must establish the Bible as fact. Only God can put the spirit on a man to tell you prophecy, what's going to happen thousands of years before it happened. Alexa and Jaden, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you said you a monotheism. You believe in one God. So you don't believe in Jesus?
No. I mean, I believe he's a prophet, but I don't see his deity like.
Are you Islamic?
I don't know. I'm not. I'm a spiritual person.
You're a spiritual person.
I just believe that we think, God created this. Like, I believe that there's a source for it, but I don't believe it.
Okay. And then you said you want to understand more about God because you don't have a
I'm just
clear understanding. You're an atheist. Oh, that's interesting. So we got a monotheist who doesn't believe Jesus in Jesus Christ, but you see him as a prophet. So you don't. It's not that you don't believe he exists. You just don't see him as the Son of God. And we have an atheist, right? That's interesting. So before I dive deeper, I got a question for you. Then I got a question for you. And I'm gonna ask y'all our names again. It's gonna stick maybe around the 7th time. Your name again? Jaden. Why are you an atheist?
I don't know. I just growing up, we never went to church. I had a lot of good people die around me, and everybody always tell me like, dang, what did they say? They say God always like punish the bad people, and I just never understood why people that was never doing nothing, always doing right by people, got taken away from me. So
So people died in your life, and you didn't understand why. That's interesting. Give me that one in Psalms where it say, the righteous take it away. Now, you say you don't believe in Jesus Christ. Why is that?
I believe that why are we not acknowledging the God, the Creator who made everything? We're acknowledging we acknowledge a human being. I feel like he's half deity, half human.
Half deity, half human.
He's not. Like, he was born out of, like you said, Mary, whatever, a virgin. Like, he didn't have, like, he was born out of a person.
Okay, so you're confused.
Yeah.
So you're confused because you believe Mary was born, Jesus was born immaculately, was just a mother, right? But where do we find that in any time period? I'm going to show y'all something, right? So the first thing we got to establish is our foundation, which is the Bible, right? And why we believe in the Bible. Now, I don't know, you as atheists, I know you don't believe in the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible?
I read the Bible though.
Okay, that's cool. That's a good start. Do you believe in the Bible?
Depends on which.
Well, you can't believe in the Bible because you said Jesus. You don't believe in Jesus, right? So now, the first thing we must do is we must establish the Bible as fact. But that's the first thing we must do is bring forth evidence to show both of you that the Bible is, without a doubt, a fact. How do we do that? I'm going to show you. Go to Isaiah 46, verse 10. I'm going to show y'all and establish how we know for a fact that the Bible is a true book. Then we're going to build on that foundation and build up to how we know God and who God really is, right? Read on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
The way that we establish the context of the Bible is the truth is because God said he declared the end from the beginning. There is something known as prophecy. Do y'all know what prophecy means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Prophecy is like something that's meant to happen, correct?
Prophecy is something that was foretold to happen.
Oh, okay.
It's like if I tell you in 10 years you're going to have $100,000 in your bank account and you're going to live in Beverly Hills. Right? Or, she said say that to me. Okay. Or if I say to you, you're going to be married to a man named Joshua in 10 years. But I wrote it down. I didn't tell you until the 10 years happened, right? And then you're going to say, damn, that was prophecy. is to foretell something before it happens. God said the end was written from the beginning. So the things that we're going through now in this time period, it's been written down in the Bible a long, long time ago. And I'm going to show you that, because we're going to prove without a shadow of a doubt the Bible a true book. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Listen to this. Because when we come out here, our foundation and what we teach is, one, that we are the biblical Israelites. Are y'all familiar with the Israelites? If you say you read the Bible, you should be. The Israelites are God's chosen people according to the Bible. It's who wrote the Bible. The actual people who wrote the Bible. Jesus Christ himself was an Israelite, right? I'm going to show you what the Bible says about these particular people. I'm going to show you this. Listen to this. Read what you got. Verse 15. Come on.
Okay.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So God told the Israelites if they did not listen. Now remember, this was written over 3,000 years ago. Right? He told them if they didn't listen, what would happen?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said that curses will befall this particular group of people if they misbehave themselves against his commandments, right? So I'm going to go straight to the most heaviest curse, because this is a fact. Now, if you are to say right now, I don't believe it, you will be denying history, you will be denying fact. You will be what they call illogical, right? Listen to this, verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, the word Egypt is a Greek word. It comes from the Greek word Egyptos. It means bondage or slavery. So when God brought these people out, if you're familiar with the Bible, he brought them out of Egypt because they were slaves under Pharaoh. He sent plagues into Egypt and he split the Red Sea. He saved them. So he said they would send them back into slavery. Read.
With ships.
With what?
Ships.
He said he was sending this group of people that he saved from Egypt back into slavery on ships. Now the question is, what group of people can we identify in history that went into slavery on ships?
The slave trade?
The transatlantic slave trade.
You know, it's crazy. They actually don't teach us nothing about the slaves. You know?
They don't teach you nothing about the slaves no more. Why? Because in these last days, these people will be coming out and figuring out we are the chosen people. We who the Bible is talking about.
So we are in spiritual warfare.
I really don't know nothing about the slaves.
What?
You cannot be for real.
I really don't know nothing about the slaves.
What?
Oh my God, you for real.
I really don't know nothing about the slaves.
What?
No, you for fake.
I really don't know nothing about the slaves.
What?
No, you for real.
I really don't know nothing about the slaves.
What?
You lying. You not.
You say you don't know nothing about the slaves? So you not, so in school, how old are you, young man?
24.
24. In school, they never taught you about how black people got to this side of the world?
No.
They didn't teach all that.
They
They
said that's
stopped
for food. Whatever it says for food and
Yeah.
they just said it was.
That's all they said. They didn't tell us nothing.
That
about
was
this.
systematic.
Yeah.
It was systematic because they don't want you to be able to connect yourself to these facts. But this is a fact that in 1619, a large portion, hundred millions of us was rounded up from the west coast of Africa. We was taken out of Spain and Europe, and we was brought to this side of the world in chattel slavery.
Were we already here? There are arguments that we were already in North America.
Yeah, I never said that wasn't the case. Black people were in North America. Their names were the natives and Hispanic. There were black people all throughout North and South America before the white man, the conquistadors, came here. But that still does not erase the fact that they took millions of us and they forced us over here. They even took millions of the black people that was here and forced them into slavery in Spain. That's why they speak Spanish. Because they didn't speak Spanish before they met the Spaniards. We didn't speak English before we met the English, before they captured us as prisoners of war. That's what happened. We was captured as prisoners in war, and we was brought here to this side of the world as slaves. Read what you got.
Thou shalt see it.
Read from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Slavery again with ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
The no more that we never seen again, brother. What's your name?
Frank.
Frank, how you doing, Frank? The no more that we wouldn't see again is our homeland. As a race of people, we have yet to go back to the home that we was taken from. For even right now, if I ask many of us, where do we come from? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Do y'all go to this college?
Yeah.
Y'all paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to get an education here, and they can't even tell us where we come from.
You know, I just want, this is off topic, but I want to say something. I've been watching a lot of religions the last 3 days. I couldn't sleep, and then y'all pop up. No,
That's the spirit of the Lord.
weird.
That's the spirit of the Lord. For real. For real. The spirit of the Lord. He sent his prophets because I didn't even want to come here. But they talked me into it. But all praises. There was the spirit of the Lord that we hear. Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
God said once we get off these slave ships, we will be sold to our enemies. How many of y'all familiar with the movie Roots?
Oh, yeah.
When they got up there and they put them on the auction block, they sold them throughout all the United States. If we came together as a family, if one unit, brother, we all brothers and sisters, right? They separated us. They sent you to Georgia. They sent you to Mississippi. They sent you to Florida. They sent me to Tennessee. They separated our families. Now, is this a religious thing or is this history? This is history. That's the thing. Many religions have taken a history book and made religions out of them. The Bible is the history book of so-called black and Hispanics. It's not the white man's book. It's not his book at all. That's why we're the one. We're the Yeah, here you go. Here you go. I want y'all to take a look at this. Look at these different religions that, like you just said, you was studying multiple religions for the last 3 days. You've been up all night looking at different theology, right? Look at where these different religions come from that most of our people go into. You got the Baptist church. I was once a Baptist. How many people we know that grow up Baptists? You grew up Baptist? How many people we know in our families that's Baptist? You got the Mormons. You got the Adventists. You got the Jehovah's Witness, Pentecostal. Now, look at the years. Baptist, 1608. Where was we in 1608? We were being rounded up like cattle on the west coast of Africa. 1830. Where were we? All these different religions was created in slavery by the so-called white man. Even Islam, all these different religions that we serve today. That's why when you just said you feel like Jesus is a deity. When you read the Bible, it's nowhere in the Bible that says Mary had a baby without a man. That was created in religion. It was created in religion. Just like majority of these religions today do not teach us our true nationality at all. They don't teach you are the biblical Israelites. They don't teach this history. When you went to church as a kid, they never talked about slavery. Did they? That's why most of us will turn to read the whole Bible and go atheist. Why? Because it seems illogical to what you see. You read the Bible, but what you see people doing is a complete different thing. Right? Read on.
Hey, what's up, bro? Oh, you ain't subscribed yet? Look at this guy, man. You ain't right, man. Press the button. Press the button.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto who?
Your enemies.
Who was we sold to when we got off the slave ship? So-called white men. Absolutely. Read. But what did God call them, though? Read again.
Your enemies. Your what? Enemies.
See, that's another thing. That's why it was so fundamentally sound for them to create religions. Because with the religions, majority of them, if not 98% of them, use these images inside of there. But does Jesus look like this? Does God look like this? So why do they consistently depict themselves as God? Why? It's because they want you to separate them from being the enemy. They want you to see them as the friend. But you got to ask yourself, does a friend put another friend in slavery? What been committed on the so-called black man and Hispanic man will be known today as war crimes. They got a fight going on in Gaza, and they calling for war crimes against the Israelis. But what about the war crimes that was committed to us? We owe billions of dollars for the war crimes that was committed against us. But they want to separate this Bible from history and make you feel like it's a spiritual thing. No, this is history. This is a history book. Read on.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy you means to redeem. Because in this time period when Moses walked, if you was a slave, you could buy your slave. You can buy your freedom. Somebody, your parents can buy your freedom. Your brothers, your sisters can come redeem you out of that bondage or that servitude. But in this time period, nobody can save us. Martin Luther King trying to save us. Marcus Garvey, Rosa Parks. You have many black leaders that rose up. Even today, they're still trying to fight. But nobody, we still in the same predicament. We still in the same land. We was brought here as slaves.
Right.
Now you got to ask yourself, because you said you was atheist, right? Brother Jaden. I was going to get it. Brother Jaden. Remember, you said you was atheist, right? But what we're proving today is the Bible is a factual book. Because you got to ask yourself, this book was written thousands of years ago, right? So how could they know we was going to go into slavery? It got to be true. Only God can put the spirit on a man to tell you prophecy, what's going to happen thousands of years before it happened. Even now, watch this. Leviticus 26, verse 14. I'm going to show y'all something that's going on currently, right now. To this day, right now. Listen to this. Read what you got.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments.
So remember, this is for disobedience against God. We had a covenant with God. You may hear the term in religions all the time. The old covenant, the new covenant. A covenant is agreement, a contract. We had a contract with God. We would be God people. He would be our God. He would set us on top of all the people. And we would teach the whole world how to worship God and be righteous. And we would be in rulership if we obeyed. But if we disobeyed, we would be in servitude to all the rest of the people on the earth. Look at us now. Are we not in servitude to all the rest of the people? And we still disobey to this day. We got the most jacked up culture out of all the nations on the earth. Why? Because they want to keep us in sin so we can stay at the bottom of society. Read on.
And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments.
If we don't do all the commandments, read.
But that ye break my covenant, I will also do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
God said he will appoint terror over us. Look in our communities. We're being terrorized at all different levels. I don't know where y'all come from. Is y'all from Detroit? What about you?
I was a military brat. So.
Military? Okay. But when you look in our communities, all throughout the world, we being terrorized. And it's going to identify who exactly doing it. Listen to this, read.
Consumption and the burning egg that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
Verse 17.
Verse 17. And I will set my face against you.
God said he's going to set his face against our people as a race. To do what?
And ye shall be slain before your enemies.
God said we will be slain before our enemies. Now remember, who did we identify the enemy was? The so-called white man. So, Trayvon Martin, was he slain before his enemy?
Yes.
Tamir Rice, was he slain before his enemy? How you doing, sister? You even of recently, you got the sister Sonia Messi, who was murdered in her own home. Are y'all familiar with that story? Slain in her own home. By who? Her enemy. But our people can't fathom the fact, because why? The white man, he give you scholarship. He let you play on his sports teams. He give you a good job. And we can't fathom that he is the enemy. But he put us in this predicament to have to go to him for everything. Read on.
They that hate you shall reign over you.
They that hate us reign over us. When you look at the Supreme Court, majority of them is white. You look at the people who passed the legislation, majority of them is white. Even you look in our neighborhoods, the police officers, the judges, a large portion of them is white.
And ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
Now this is a constant thing, because we've proven, we land the foundation that the Bible is a true book. Now, if the things that we stated so far are not true, right? Let me know. Or if maybe you think, oh, that's true, but there might be one thing in the Bible that's true. Because we can go through multiple things and identify that God of this Bible is real.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word